What if everyone earned the same salary? Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, checking your phone, and seeing a government announcement. From now on, every person on Earth will earn exactly the same salary. No exceptions. The billionaire CEO of a global tech giant and the barista at your neighborhood coffee shop would now make the same amount of money. A brain surgeon and a TikTok influencer, same paycheck. Your grandmother who is retired and your little cousin who just learned how to tie his shoes? Well, let's say the government figured out some way to make it work. At first, this sounds kind of amazing. No more wealth inequality, no more stress about chasing promotions or arguing over raises. The world might feel fairer overnight. But how would it actually play out once people got used to it? The first few weeks would probably be a honeymoon phase. People would celebrate, shopping malls would be full, and Instagram would be flooded with posts of folks treating themselves to gadgets, vacations, and fancy meals. But soon, something strange would start happening. If your paycheck is the same, whether you flip burgers or perform open heart surgery, why spend 10 extra years in school learning medicine? Why wake up at 3 a.m. to perform an emergency operation when you could get the same salary working at an ice cream shop? Suddenly, the entire incentive system that keeps society functioning would begin to wobble. Dangerous and stressful jobs would become the least attractive. Pilots, firefighters, nuclear engineers, miners, all of them would be asking the same question. Why risk my life for the same paycheck I could get sitting at home watching Netflix? If everyone answered that question the same way, planes wouldn't fly, power plants wouldn't run, and your Wi-Fi would stop working, which, of course, would be the real tragedy. But hold on, maybe society wouldn't collapse instantly. Humans aren't motivated only by money. Some people genuinely love their work. Artists create because they feel inspired, scientists experiment because they're curious, and some teachers really do love explaining fractions to grumpy 12-year-olds. So, while many difficult jobs would lose workers, a core group might continue purely out of passion or duty. The trouble is, there probably wouldn't be enough of them to keep things running smoothly. There's also the problem of value. When everyone has the same income, prices lose their meaning. Suppose your universal salary is enough to buy one loaf of bread a day. Suddenly, demand for bread skyrockets because everyone can afford it. Bakeries can't keep up, shelves are empty. And soon, a black market for bread emerges where people trade sneakers, video games, or even hugs for an extra baguette. The economy would bend itself into strange shapes as supply and demand tried to adjust to this new reality. Over time, new currencies would probably appear. Not official ones, of course. Governments just banned salary differences, remember? But underground systems of trade always emerge when people want something badly enough. Maybe it's bartering, maybe it's crypto, maybe it's just your neighbor trading 3 avocados for a haircut. Either way, equality on paper quickly becomes inequality in practice. And what about innovation? Would humans still build spaceships, invent new medicines, or write complex software if there was no financial reward? Possibly, but the pace would slow down dramatically. Most of the technologies we enjoy today were created because someone hoped to profit from them. Without that incentive, progress could stall. On the other hand, maybe people would create for the pure joy of creating. Maybe the arts would flourish in ways we've never seen before. Imagine a world where everyone writes novels, paints, or makes films simply because they can, not because they have to pay rent. Society might collapse in some areas, but bloom in others. Of course, there's a darker possibility. People wouldn't accept the system at all. History shows that whenever equality is forced, cracks appear. Those in power often find loopholes, rewarding themselves with privileges that aren't technically salary, but serve the same purpose. Access to better food, better housing, or better vacations becomes the new currency. And before long, inequality sneaks back in through the side door. So, what would the world look like after a year of everyone earning the same salary? Hospitals might be running short of doctors, but overflowing with amateur musicians. Universities might close their engineering departments, but every city would have 10 new improv theaters. Bakers would be celebrities, plumbers would be rock stars, and anyone who could fix a Wi-Fi router would instantly become a hero. Would life be better or worse? That probably depends on whether you prefer working in an office or strumming a guitar on a beach while eating overpriced bread from the underground baguette market. In the end, the idea of equal salaries sounds utopian, but humans are messy creatures. We crave fairness, but we also crave recognition, reward, and the thrill of competition. Maybe total equality isn't the answer. Maybe what we really want is a world where hard work and creativity are rewarded, but not so unevenly that some people buy yachts while others can't afford dinner. So if everyone earned the same salary, the result wouldn't be a perfect paradise or total disaster. It would be a strange mix of both. A world with fewer surgeons, more poets, and a very long waiting line at the bakery.